Lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos and leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. So lovely. Lovelies, I came across this video remind for you and I thought to share where people are reacting to the fact that Orange Man has paused his tariff to other countries except for China. Guys, this spite a lot of conversation and I was able to put up some of those stitches. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. People are reacting to the fact that this man is actually manipulating all of the system to empower his friends and himself. I'm just going to roll it. Leave me your own thoughts in the comment section. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
So Trump has paused all tariffs on all countries except for China. China has 125% tariff increase. Are you fucking kidding me? Now you want to back down? Now you want to be chicken shit? That means that nobody was really coming to the table because the EU said, okay, we got retaliatory tariffs too. Japan and Korea was willing to negotiate. Countries in fucking Africa was like, oh, we with the shit. Nigeria was with the shit. They said, we don't want none of your stuff no more. Nigeria cut off 25 categories worth of shit that came from America to be stopped at the damn border of Nigeria. I cannot. He's jumping 125% tariffs right away because according to him, China hasn't shown respect to the global markets. This man is really trying to tank our economy. He really is. You backed out. You a bitch. Now every other country, get your asses up and rally behind China.
All right, we've got some new breaking news on the Trump tariffs. So apparently Trump has come out and said he is temporarily pausing the tariffs for 75 countries for 90 days. For some countries, he has reduced the tariff to 10%, and for China, he has increased it to 125%. Let's take a look at what the president said. So this is what he typed out in Truth Social. It says, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world markets, I am hereby raising the tariffs charged to China by the United States of America to 125%, effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including departments of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States. I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lower reciprocal tariffs during this period of 10%. Also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention. The bitch bent the knee. His bitch ass bent the fucking knee. You make all these threats and you don't even, like, Trump just showed the world right now that as a nation, all we are is a bunch of barking dogs with no teeth. The only time we have teeth is when it comes to military. Everything else, we got no teeth.
China must have really pissed President Trump off because we know last night at around 12 o'clock, President Trump hit China with a 104% tariff. And then China answered back this morning. And I'm guessing that answer really pissed President Trump off because today, President Trump just announced a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs for all countries except China. You heard what I just said? He paused the reciprocal tariffs for every country that the United States has tariffs on except for China. And he changed that 104% tariff that he put on China to 125%. And for the people in the back, you already know what that means. But again, we already heard that China said they're willing to fight to the end, whatever that means. And to add on to that, China already made a promise that whatever we make, they can make for cheaper. So apparently they got something up their sleeve. Oh, and they said that if America keep playing, those counterfeits that they got over there, like, you know, Rolex, counterfeit clothes, the counterfeit designer that they got over there, they said they're gonna make that legal. Yeah, legal. So you know what that means, right? Pay attention. China.
It has been 7 years since Donald Trump traveled over to France in, about 2017, I think it was maybe, and he saw their massive military parade, and he came back to the United States and said, "My God, I want that here. I want our missiles parading down the streets like we were North Korea. I want tanks rolling down Pennsylvania Avenue so people can see our military might." And at the time, you had military leaders, you had the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and of course you had the government of Washington, D.C., the city, not the federal government, tell him, yeah, that ain't gonna happen, bud. It would cost no less than $92 million from the federal government to do it, plus an additional $21 million from the city for extra security. So we're talking about more than $100 million just so you can march some tanks down the road. So Trump, angry, said, "No, I'm not going to do it. Everybody's being mean to me about my special military parade. I guess I can't do it." Well, fast forward 7 years, and Donald Trump has fired those military leaders, replaced them with his loyalists. He's fired the Joint Chiefs of Staff, replaced them with people who will not tell him no. And the city government of Washington, D.C. is, of course, bowing down to Trump, giving him whatever he wants. We don't want to step on your toes. Knowing this, Donald Trump is now planning to spend over $100 million for a 4-mile military parade to take place, of course, on his birthday this year. June 14th, according to reports, Donald Trump is finally going to get his grand North Korea-style military parade. And I know he says it's modeled off France, but let's be honest, he wants it North Korea-style with pictures of him in the cars driving by. Because it's all about him. That's why we're doing it on his birthday. Oh, sure, Farron, that's also Flag Day. That's also the 250th anniversary of the birth of the Army. Sure, yeah, those are true statements, but that has nothing to do with it. I mean, 4th of July would probably be a better day to do that, right? Hell, maybe even Veterans Day. Maybe Memorial Day, right? There's better days than Flag Day, right? I mean, you could actually put it off a year and do it on July 4th, 2026, but we're not going to do that. The 250th birthday of America, right? That would make a little more sense, but nope, we're doing it this year on his birthday, 4 miles of parade at a cost of more than $100 million, all to honor him. This comes at a time when this very same administration is telling us, well, golly gee, we have to fire tens of thousands of government workers. We have to eliminate waste, as they tell us. We got to cut back on Social Security. We don't have the money for it. We got to cut Medicaid, Medicare. We got to cut environmental regulations. They're too dang expensive, folks. Meanwhile, he's also ordering the military to spend $100 million to have tanks roll through the streets of Washington, D.C., which I'm sure the streets of Washington, D.C. are not necessarily built to handle tanks. But hey, who cares about the damage we cause to the infrastructure? Donald Trump wants his parade for his birthday, and by God, it has been 7 years since Donald Trump traveled over to...
Not only did Trump pause tariffs, but he also further solidified his ability to psychologically abuse Americans using a very specific tactic called intermittent reinforcement. This kind of abuse is often associated with the phrase push and pull. It is a cycle of inconsistent reward and punishment that traps you in this cycle of anxiety and hope and dependence. This is the same dynamic as I love you, I hate you, you're safe with me, you're not safe, you can get relief here, oh wait, now you have to suffer. It is exactly what we're seeing with Trump's tariffs, where he's going back and forth and literally saying, oh, the American people, we gotta suffer, it's gonna hurt first, and then we're gonna be prosperous and liberation. It is in this way he is able to position us to be punished, but also look to him for relief, for hope. He can create chaos, and from that chaos, he can be not only the hero, but also the person that is in charge and is in power and control. Because what do we need when we are in chaos? A leader. And he is positioning himself to be that person. I think one of the only ways to break out of this cycle is through mutual aid. If we are not dependent upon these people that control all the stock market and powers and money and all this shit, then we actually can break ourselves out of this need for reward and unfortunately inevitable punishment associated. We don't have to take abuse, but if we're going to do something about it, we gotta name it. So, step 1, complete.
Guys, if there's one clip you have to watch that explains why Trump backed down and also why the United States has no leverage in these trade negotiations, it's this. And yes, it was even on Fox News.
What happened overnight, and from what I understand, and I'm getting this from people that are talking to the White House, what happened in the bond market overnight, the spike in yields on the 30-year and the 10-year bond, which showed that people were dumping our bonds. And who were those people dumping our bonds? Japan, the biggest holder of bonds, was selling bonds. That's what I'm getting from some very big money managers. China, maybe to some extent, but it was largely Japan and others. If you have a mass sale of bonds, that means people are losing confidence in the U.S. economy, on the ability.
Wow, so this, I believe in the Cold War, is what you would have called mutually assured destruction. Interesting to note that Japan didn't have to publish anything. They just silently executed a plan that showed big bully Trump who holds the real cards in this negotiation. And so I'm not sure what's going to happen from here. We still have 10% tariffs on everybody. We still have 125, I think, on China. But clearly, we don't hold as many cards as even the Trump administration thought we did going into these quote-unquote negotiations. So it's going to be probably a bumpy ride.
Let's talk about Trump's obsession with tariffs and why this is not shocking, except for the one on China, but it'll be a part of the explanation. So by now I know a bunch of people are like, what in the fuck is this motherfucker's obsession with tariffs? Well, it goes back to his first administration. You see, Donald Trump had no fucking idea what he was doing when he entered the White House in 2017. Like, at all. That's why he had so many fucking rallies. That's why he spent so much time on the golf course. That's why his fucking day would start at like noon. Because he had no fucking idea what he was doing. But he knew he had to appear tough. Gotta be tough, tough, tough. America. He knew that he knew nothing about economics. At least he was honest about it. So he turns to the one person he knows can get the economic job done, Jared Kushner. And he tells Jared to find me someone who's good in economics, but will make me look strong. So Jared, being the intellectual fucking genius that he is, goes to the one place he knows for a fact he can find a good guy on economics. Amazon. That's right. Jared Kushner Googled person good with economics. It takes him to Amazon, and there's a book. There's a book. It's called Death by China or something like that, and it's written by one Peter Navarro. This story gets so much fucking stupider. I can't even believe this. I can't. Now, there's an accompanying movie to this book. It's narrated by Martin Sheen, which fucks with me. Hey man, Martin, you are Academy Award nominated actor. You do not have to do this. Come on now. You are Sheen. Don't do that. You're in Apocalypse Now, sir. But anywho, Navarro believed that China was jobbing us, okay? He was really fucking us. And he felt the best way to get back at them is with tariffs. Tariffs. You put tariffs on shit and China and other countries will respect us. America. So Trump hires him to work in his government as the economic advisor. Here is where it gets fucking dumb. Now, good old Peter Navarro, when he writes these books, you gotta have experts, right? You gotta have a fucking expert. You gotta have a fucking expert. And Peter has one. His name was Ron Vera. Ron Vera is the person that Peter Navarro quotes in several of his books about tariffs and what China is doing. In fact, when Peter Navarro became part of Trump's administration the first time, Ron Vera sent out an email, not just to Republican senators, but Republican congresspeople as well, and that they were going to get behind Trump's ideas of tariffs. There's just one fucking problem with Ron Vera. And if you've watched Rachel Maddow or if you've seen this from Parnas or anybody else, shut the fuck up. There are people that have not seen this. You see, Ron Vera does not exist. In fact, Ron Vera is an anagram. Ron Vera is Peter Navarro's last name as an anagram. Peter Navarro was quoting Ron Vera, which basically turns out to be Peter Navarro, in books about economics that caught the eye from Amazon of Jared Kushner, who then sent Peter Navarro with all this expertise from Ron Vera to Donald Trump. Donald Trump hired him. Ron Vera literally started sending out emails to our congresspeople and senators, and the tariff thing was born. Flash forward to Trump's second term. He still has tariffs on the brain. He still does. Like, fuck Herbert Hoover. Smoot Hawley. The fuck is that? Fuck the damage that's been done. No. Donald Trump comes in yelling tariffs. Tariff this, tariff that. And while he was tariffing, he was literally bending a whole bunch of Americans over and a bunch of American businesses over so he could tariff that ass. And now that the tariffs that he put in, remember last week was Liberation Day? The tariffs that he's put in has caused fucking havoc on the fucking stock market. Shit was falling faster than a song by R. Kelly on the charts. He still has tariffs on the brain. Thanks to his first administration, Jared Kushner, Google, Amazon, a book called Death by China, Peter Navarro, and Peter Navarro's anagram last name of Ron Vera. This is the stable genius y'all keep talking about.
So, lovelies, it is actually said that Orange Man has actually posed all of the inflicted tariffs that he keeps on inflicting to all of these countries, about 70-something countries, but he goes as far as to talk about how China is actually having a very negative impact to an economy or to the economy, and because of that, he's going to inflict more tariff percentage to China. Why the other ones are being paused for the next 90 days? Like, this dude is just playing with people's feelings and emotions. Like, so when I saw this on my For You, there are so many stitches out there, people commenting and reacting. And there's one stitch that actually spiked me. Someone was like, oh, Are you sure this dude is not actually doing all of these things to enrich his folks or his friends or himself? And like, he's just playing with people. And when they see that, okay, people are complaining or maybe they have benefited whatsoever thing that they feel that they are going to benefit, they want to pass it. Like, like seriously, lovelies, MAGA supporters, sometimes I just want to see the way at which they feel about all of these things that is going on. The other day, I think yesterday was on a live, and somebody was talking about how they have to just give him the benefit of doubt. This person goes as far as to talk about how the tariff is just going to make the economy strive. That, oh my God, he believed the tariffs are way to go. That it's going to create room for the state to have manufacturing industries and all of that. Now that he has paused this, what is it? What is it that they have to say about this right now? Because these individuals are just everywhere. Like, anything he does, they don't want to see anything bad with anything he does. Anything he does, they believe that, oh, the Messiah is going to fix it, even in their own detriment. The Messiah is going to fix it. But without them realizing that this dude has, like, he know exactly what he's doing. You think that he's not concerned, or he doesn't see how people are crying out, crashing out, and he himself, he knows that the economy is somehow crashing. Before this tariff person, somebody stitched a video talking about how he was hiking this, or he was trying to crash the economy knowingly, like he was purposely doing it. And every other person have an opinion how he was just trying to do that to empower himself and his friends, and like, all of these things are just strategies for them to keep on winning, or a strategy for the gap between the rich and the poor to be so pronounced. Like, seriously. But the thing is that his followers will still not see anything. Like, they will still not see anything bad in what he's doing. They'll still come out to talk about, oh, you see, he's doing the right, because this is just so manipulating. This is just so manipulation, because this dude know exactly what he's doing. Now that things are going out of hand, he want to pause, and his gullible followers will come out to talk about how, oh, he's still doing the right thing. Like, oh my goodness, lovelies. Oh my goodness me. The more I really just want to talk about it, the more I keep on thinking. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. And guys, if you're not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like this video, leave me your own thought of what you think, and why is he imposing these tariffs on China. Like, I think he has another thing with this Chinese, like oh my goodness, he goes as far as to post tariff in the country, but he increased that of China. But without even knowing that this other country might actually want to work hand in hand with China. Anyway, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.